quote speed. I don't even know how to start this thing. Check this out. What do you think? Huh? Huh? Yeah, okay, I can't do this if you're staring at me, okay?
Well, I can't help but stare at you when you do really lame stuff.
It's not lame, it's cool.
It's lame.
I'm probably gonna leave this in, that would be amazing. Welcome to my channel. My name's Farzad Misbahi, and this is my new recording setup. What do you think? Christmas gift from my amazing wife. Thank you very much, baby. I love you so much. Got my initials in the background. We got a cool little blue LED thing back here somewhere. Couple light things on the side here to kind of make my face show on the video, I guess, a little bit more. But yeah, it's been a really wild ride starting this channel. Got like what, almost not even 2 months ago, maybe like a month and a couple weeks or so. It feels like it happened so fast. You know, one day I'm making a video about my time at Tesla just for fun, just to get, you know, my sort of side of this story out there for you guys to listen to. And then a month and a half later, 8,200 subscribers, completely insane. Thank you all so much for following me through this journey here. I really don't know what to say. It's just been pretty amazing, to be completely honest, and it's completely mind-blowing for me. So I really think for this video, what I'd like to do is get you guys up to speed to where my head is at as far as what the channel is and what I would like it to be, especially for the next year as we approach the end of 2021. And I would love to hear your feedback as well. So I'm really curious to see from your perspective what you would like to see from this channel, right? Especially with the sort of recent, I guess, quote unquote success that this channel is having. Still, you know, relatively small compared to all the other amazing YouTubers out there, but it is something that has sort of sparked my interest to get a little bit more serious about, only because I feel like I can bring a little bit of a specific insight into Tesla and maybe other things relating to EVs and other things as well. Due to the fact that I've been following the company for so long, ever since 2012, 2013, I've really been not just invested in the company, but really invested in the mission that Tesla has had, and it's the things that Elon is making and all those things. I feel like it's really given me a unique perspective, and it does seem like folks are enjoying the content. So my commitment is to bring you guys great content for the next at least year, and if it goes farther than that, then great. So I really made it a sort of like a New Year's resolution, is to really take this thing seriously, and this is part of it right here. this new thing that we've got going on here. Again, thanks to my wife. I mean, it's the coolest thing. Now, a couple of things that I am working on for this channel specifically here in the very near term is to get a new camera in. So I've been using a GoPro for my videos. And yeah, so we're gonna get a Canon M50 in, which is, from all the reviews that we've seen, it looks like a very amazing camera. And a huge shout out to Rob N, who sent me a video, or rather sent me an email, like the first week of my first video launching, and he wrote up this amazing sort of compilation and summary of, you know, what the feedback he had for me, and also recommendations on things to get for if I wanted to take this channel a little bit more seriously. And that camera was part of his recommendation. So Rob, thank you very much for that email. I read it like 10 times, and I'm still to this day referencing to it to make sure that I'm creating things that are good, and also planning what other things I can bring on to make this channel as good as it could be. So thank you very much, Rob. I really appreciate that. The fuck, this light turned off. Now, so 2022, what does that look like for this channel? So there's a few sort of overarching themes that I like this channel to become, okay? So we talked about my perspective as a Tesla employee for 4 years. We've been following the company for a really long time. Very invested in the things that Tesla's working on and the things that Elon is working on. So some unique perspective there. One of the things I'm definitely going to cover into 2022 is just giving my perspective as a Tesla insider on the things that happen with Tesla, in addition to maybe stories that I want to tell from the things that I've experienced there, or learnings that I've experienced, right? Or things that might be useful for others to know about. So part of my channel is going to be focused on that, and I'm excited to create content around that. And then there's two other things I also want to start investing my time in for this channel. So one of them is I would love to start babe. The other thing that I want to invest my time in, it's something that I actually did very recently, last week actually, where I interviewed Dave Lee, and I'm sure those that follow Tesla know who Dave Lee is, an amazing content creator for YouTube, has been following the company for longer than I have. And that interview really, it was super fun for me. And really the biggest takeaway for me was just getting to learn people, you know, getting to learn how people think, getting to learn how people's experiences and things that I've learned and things that they've learned impact the way that they approach problems, that they approach things that are happening in their lives or trends that they're seeing. So that was super, super exciting. One of the things I want to invest my time into 2022 is to see if I can talk to amazing people, people that are very bright, very smart, or people that have unique perspectives or unique ways of looking at the world and problem solving. So that's one thing that I'm going to look to do into 2022. So expect some of those podcasts to start coming up as well. A couple things in the works for as soon as next week. So look out for that. But that's something that I'm really going to look into getting into quite a bit more for 2022. So that's one side of the podcast series. The other one is I want to talk to former Tesla employees or current Tesla employees specifically as well. And I would like to bring those discussions on this channel for you as well. So I think one of the cool things of being part of Tesla or maybe even SpaceX or other industries or companies that are within that industry, right? I think there's a lot of unique things that aren't really talked about very often, where if you stick two people that are working in that specific industry or have worked in that industry before, I think a lot of insight and sort of nuggets can come out that might help the wider public understand how that company works or how that industry, towards where it's trending and things like that. So I'm very excited to work on that as well, and that's something you should also look out for in 2022. I'm also going to look to create videos that are more around commentary around maybe recent trends. There are certain other topics that I follow, things like, I'm really starting to get into crypto a little bit. NFTs seem like all the rage, but I think there's some value there for the broader public. But really starting to delve into that. I think space is going to be a very big deal here in the coming decade or so. So I'm really starting to learn more about that. I'm also really learning a lot more about like history and philosophy, and these are things that are starting to become much more front of mind for me.
There are some reminders for Farzad.
I think this is going to be a good platform for me to share those ideas as well. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts as well on that. Would you want this to be a Tesla specific channel, or would you want it to be, would you guys be comfortable with me sort of branching out from time to time and talking about things that maybe loosely relate to Tesla or maybe have nothing to do with Tesla, right? So those are things that I'm thinking about creating as well. And also for the next year, where my wife and I are planning on taking these trips around the world to see different cultures, I was also thinking about making this channel sort of a housing for those travel videos, right? And it wouldn't be very often. It'd be like maybe once a quarter, maybe even once every half year or something like that. But I'm curious, would you guys be interested in seeing those? Or if you don't mind seeing them, let me know what you guys think. Getting in touch with other cultures can bring a lot of learnings for people. I personally think it's one of the best investments somebody can make in themselves. And if you're interested in seeing that content, let me know. I'm also going to look to create full self-driving beta videos as well. So while I was an employee at Tesla, I had access to the early builds for full self-driving that were employee specific. And I got in pretty early in that. I think I may have been like the second wave of people that got invitations to that full self-driving program. I had a Model Y that I purchased while I was working at Tesla. And that one was getting the full self-driving updates while I was there. And seeing that to where it is now, looking at everyone else's videos, that was very exciting for me to see. And what's funny is that when I left the company, a couple weeks after I left the company, they took away the access because the access was under the employee program rule set. And since I'm not an employee anymore, I can't really drive under that. And then I started working on my safety score, and then I had 100, but then I hit a 99, and then a week later, the hundreds got it. So I was bummed about that, or the hundreds were getting it rather. And then the 99 batch was about to come out, and then I went down to 98, and then the 99s went out. So we've been at 98 for a little bit here, but we finally got ours on Christmas Eve, which was pretty cool. So look out for videos for those. I live in Austin area, so I'm in the metro area. I'm about half an hour out of downtown, but there's a lot of unique driving situations out here that I think are not only challenging for full self-driving, but I think it's going to be one of the key things for that really software to hone and master before it gets released to the wider public, just because of how many different things are experienced here. So look out for those as well. And the last one I'm thinking about making, and I'm not super sort of sold on this one yet, but I'm curious to hear your opinion. This is, me having a reaction at a video or topic that's being discussed as a Tesla insider. So, like a former Tesla employee reacts. I don't know, just something along those lines. Curious to hear your thoughts on that. Let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing. If so, I'll make the content. If not, I'll sort of think about it and see if it makes sense for me to do it or not. But, I'm just curious to see if that's something people would want to watch. And yeah, outside of that, I'm very excited to be back. I had an amazing week with my family for Christmas break. We made a bunch of food. It was really cool because so our families come from multiple cultures, very different cultures. My wife's side of the family is Guyanese. My parents were born in Iran. They moved to Spain in '79. Then they moved us to the States. I lived there in Spain for 12 years, and then we moved to the States, and I've been living here since 1999. And what's really cool, for Christmas, we had such an amazing spread of food. We had pepper pot, which is a traditional Guyanese dish from the Amerindian people, which are the natives to the country. Freaking incredible. You cook this thing and you let it sit for a day, and then you reheat it the next day, and then you reheat it again the next day, and every day it keeps getting better and better and better. It's made out of beef and oxtail or cow heel. You can make it out of different meats, and it has such an amazing blend of spices. Look it up if you've never heard of it. It's called pepper pot. It's from Guyana. Incredible. So we had that. Then we had some Spanish foods while we were here as well from Spain. We had some Persian food while we were here as well. And then I made a brisket on the smoker because we live in Texas. You know, you have to do that for Christmas, which actually came out great. And the big difference there was that I bought my brisket from a butcher who got it from a farm where the cows were grass-fed. We have HEB here as well, which is a sort of a supermarket chain, and they have good briskets, but you could really taste the difference in that grass-fed brisket. So friggin' amazing. My God, it made a huge difference. I also went a little bit heavier on the pepper on the bark. If you guys are interested in seeing how I make my briskets, let me know. I was like, should I make a video about this or not? But let me know if you'd be interested in seeing that. I've become crazy addicted with making barbecue here since I moved to Texas. My wife bought me a smoker, a pellet smoker. It's a Rectech RT700, I think it's the model. And I've been using that ever since she got it for me last year. And I can't stop. I try to find an excuse to make a brisket every week. I started a small hustle in the neighborhood after I left Tesla. And I'm like selling briskets to the neighborhood. And people are like, oh my God, this is so good, blah, blah, blah. I think I'm just being nice. But it came out good last time. So I'm excited to make more of those. But let me know if you'd be interested in seeing how I make my brisket. And yeah, so this is the first video back from Christmas. I'll be making more videos this week about different topics that I have in the works. Next week, I'll be interviewing a pretty cool person. So I'm excited to put that podcast up for you guys. There's also a couple folks that have reached out that would like to talk to me as well. So there'll be interviews of me coming up on YouTube here in the next weeks or couple weeks or so. So I'm excited to share that as well. And I'm gonna let you guys go for the rest of the day here. Thank you very much for stopping by and watching my content. If you'd like to see more of this type of content, please subscribe. If you like what you saw, throw me a like. I have a Patreon page as well if you'd like to support me through there. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much for stopping by, and we'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye. All right.